Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Iowa Central Community College Basketball today. Bring you women's action between Iowa Central and Southwestern. Middle of the conference, two teams fighting for position late in this season. I'm with my broadcast partner, Cody Halligan. Cody, looks like we've got a good game lined up for us this evening.
Absolutely. Everyone's looking pretty fired up, ready to get this game underway. Looks like it's going to be a great one.
Iowa Central comes in 11-18 with a 3-9 conference mark. Southwestern comes in 5th in the conference, one spot ahead of them. Iowa Central is in 6th. Southwestern, the visitors, come in 16-12, 5-7 in conference. Iowa Central 1-4 in their last 5. Southwestern comes in just one game better form. They're 3-2 in their last 5. Sarah Rowling getting this game started, winning the opening tip, and over to Kayla Morgan. Slung out to Turcotte. Going to change possession here. Think that ball found its way out of bounds down the baseline. Southwestern comes in, as I mentioned, 3-2 in their last 5. They're coming in today. They won the first matchup, 56-51, after Iowa Central's defense, dominant in the first half of that first meeting, held Southwestern to 18 points in the first half.
First one didn't quite make it in there.
The worst offensive half of Southwestern's season came against Iowa Central, but for now they get started with a nice, easy left-handed layup down the seam.
That was Carter with a point for Southwestern there.
So as we mentioned before, Cody, Iowa Central won the first half of this matchup. They came out hot, but had a collapse in the third quarter. Southwestern ended up closing down on them and winning 56-51, so looking for a little bit of revenge here.
There we go.
And they'll start with Michaela Graffunder up under the basket. One of the best in the conference when she finds that one-on-one matchup to be able to drive. Southwestern now dribbling behind the key. Looks like doing most of the ball handling for them, the starting point guard, Malika Carter. And now the other Carter, Jelani Carter.
Oh, back to Carter. Oh.
Back to Malika. They're going to signal for... It was a jump ball signal, which would mean that possession would stay with. Yes, it will. So now getting the inbound pass. Jelani Carter will handle the ball first time. She was part of that big comeback. Right now, 2-0 as we try to get our scoreboard working. We'll keep you posted. Now, obviously, 2-5 now following the shot by Southwestern. Toto dealing with the ball. As I was mentioning before, Jelani Carter, big part of that win that Southwestern had before. Iowa Central is going to have to keep her a little bit more contained. Last time she had 16 points, 4 rebounds.
Fantastic three there.
But if you let Toto have her spot, she'll do it all day. Pounds that three. Iowa Central draws back level 5-5 with about 8 minutes left here in this first quarter.
Alfred didn't quite make it there.
Graffunder picks up the rebound, now pushing down the court. Toto. And as they settle back in here, it's been about the pace we'd expect, Cody. Nice, slow. Both teams seem to want to build around defense, not give anything away in transition.
Toto? Oh, not quite.
They give Toto the same spot again, and she'll pop at it, but misses the half of the building she was aiming at there. After a beautiful three-point shot, comes up with a bit of a dud. Slung over Alford. Now popping Washington, and
another three.
They're coming out firing 5-8. We mentioned before that for the entire first half, it was 18-21, 40 points combined in the first half. The last time these teams met, looks like we're going to get a little bit more of a wide open approach today. Now Kayla Morgan dealing with the ball. She's so good when she gets like that. Good ball movement into rolling.
Oh, not quite.
Can't get the fall, but she will go to the line. She was in the process. Sarah Rowling, the last game against Kirkwood. Iowa Central took the loss against Kirkwood, but so has everyone else in the nation. Kirkwood 28-0 at this point. We'll see how tonight goes for them. I believe they're in Ellsworth. But Sarah Rowling in that game had 14 points. Graffunder had 12. Those are the kind of performances they're going to have to come up with again. And if they do, if they play like they played in the first half against Kirkwood at least, they should be able to beat a team like Southwestern that comes in with pretty level resume.
Got our second free throw here. Oh, not quite. Just bounced out. Working our way back across here.
5-8 now. Iowa Central down. Trying to extend to an early lead, and pops a three, but
Seems like they're favoring those 3-pointers there.
Not one that she's going to look back and say she should have taken early in the shot clock from a bad situation. Can't even find a little bit of rim with it. Just an ill-advised shot. Give Iowa Central one more chance to go cut into this lead a bit. It still is 5-8. All right, now we've got the scoreboard up for you. There's 6 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Toto working her way back here.
Toto good, and she has a one-on-one matchup. Draws the double team. Turcotte's got Gerfunder over in the corner, finds her.
Grunder goes for it. Oh, not quite.
Trying to draw the foul, but it'll go a Morgan 3 instead. She's a little bit short on it. Not always the most reliable shooter. Caleb Morgan definitely more comfortable in the assisting role and playing defense, both of which she does well. And now being a little bit irresponsible with the ball. Number 11, Ariana Frazier. Going to take 1 too many steps and give Iowa Central the ball.
Gerfunder going to go for the throw in here to Toto.
Just advancing it in front of her own bench. Toto taking the dribble. There's 20 seconds left on the shot clock as she gets back over. Got Morgan to her left. It's not going to matter. She comes up short, and she's going to get an assist.
It seems we've been very focused today. Definitely able to get our teamwork in and get things going for us.
Toto's going to pick up her first assist of the game on a shot that missed by a mile. It'll go down in the book as a pass, though. Now Morgan draws down. Southwestern recruited heavily at that wing area over the offseason. Pretty much specifically designed this team from the inside out to play fast wing basketball and get 3-point shots off. Iowa Central, though, unfortunately for Southwestern, it's one of the reasons that first matchup was so interesting, is that Iowa Central's perimeter defense excels. They have to get out of the double team, though, here, and they'll get to Gerfunder from the corner.
And she makes it in.
Gets a friendly roll off the home. Gets a friendly roll off the home rim. 3-point shot. Iowa Central now up 10-8. 5 minutes left.
Those bounces are always suspenseful.
Now halfway through this first quarter. Gerfunder gets caught a little bit on the pump fake, getting off an open 3-point shot and missing now Washington. Toto bringing it over. She's got 20 minutes left. 20 seconds left on the shot clock to work with. They run a little bit of a rub in front of her. 10 seconds left now on the shot clock. Driving inside. She has options, but she decides to shoot herself. Now Morgan tracking down the long rebound after rolling. Swats that one out.
Sizing it up.
Absolutely. And Cody, when Iowa Central plays well, this is exactly how they play. Defense first, rebound on the offensive and now we could call moving screen. Rightfully so. See who the accused party was. I think they got Jensen. Woodward being asked to check in here. Yeah, Madison Jensen picks up her first foul on either team today. Pardon me, 1-1. Southwestern picked one up earlier.
Score is 10-8 right now.
Four minutes left here in this first quarter. And Iowa Central, so far, it's 10-8. Both teams playing this slow, plodding pace. They're both working slow and deep into the shot clock. And honestly, in an era of the game where everything is so fast, it's a joy to see the work. Now a deep shot goes a long ways wide. It was taken from a ways out, and well, it stayed a ways out. Toto.
Once again, looking for an out here. There we are.
Southwestern's defense set up very much defending the paint. They're playing a 3-2 zone, but even those two wingers are crunched into the paint area.
Oh.
Gotta say that they didn't quite walk the tightrope down there.
Didn't quite make it in.
Now working the throw in. Southwestern. We knew it was going to be close. Neither of these teams are really the type of team that's going to blow somebody out. Not offenses capable of usually, on a good night, being able to put up 70 or 80. So we're going to see a 50 to 60 type game That's the type of game it's shaping up to be. Ground in. Good job bothering the shot by Turcotte, and
Tritons get her back.
after forcing the miss, Turcotte will go down and get the rebound.
Toto working back, slow and steady.
Again, playing with 5 women playing zone, but crunched into that center area. Now they're swinging over to cover the wings. Going to leave Woodward a little bit of space on the outside, then it's taken away. She is dangerous from that
Goes
spot.
up. She gets it.
That's rare,
Fantastic.
and that's rare from Woodward. Generally a shooter that likes to shoot from the spot. That time, she sees a dribble she likes, puts it down on the floor, gets herself 2 points. 2 minutes left here in this first quarter. Walking the baseline, now slinging it out. Good inside-out passing, opens up a 3, but can't get to fall. Woodward taking the rebound, and now pressing, but they'll get it out.
Still seems like Southwestern's favoring those threes. Not quite making them, but seems like the Tritons are real focused today.
Southwestern built around the 3-point shot. Iowa Central, Toto taking a quick shot there. Had herself in a good area of the court. Now driving all the way down into 3, try and still draw the foul. Pardon me, no, they're going to call the charge. It's going to be number 15. It's going to be Spivey picks up her first, so now Iowa Central getting the ball with a chance to stretch the lead a little bit. And honestly, Iowa Central has been a team that they've had good wins. They've had wins against ranked opponents throughout the season. They beat an 18th ranked Southeastern earlier in the season, but it's also been a team that's been inconsistent. Oh, Graffunder driving through everybody, rolling.
Little
There's
tussle.
there's a tussle for the ball. This is going to end in a jump ball. Iowa Central will keep possession. And you saw right there a quick flash of what Graffunder and Rolling are both capable of. At any time, usually the 2 best athletes on the court. Graffunder, if you want to pick apart the profile, she's a good guard. She's a good forward. She can slice through just about everything. The problem is sometimes her shot goes missing. Morgan off the screen.
Not quite.
Can't get to drop. Now Turcotte fighting for the ball. It'll end up.
Ooh, another tussle.
Oh, we got a foul called. See who they pick it up on. They're going to get Turcotte, and no argument from the player there. Loose ball foul.
Southwestern working their way back down.
Slung over now from the corner. Rolling one-on-one on the defense. The help comes on the drive. Now it'll be Graffunder one-on-one with her. Good, slung up. Graffunder's a good defender, but that time Frazier got the better of her. Good hook shot, beating some good defense. 12-10. Inside to Rolling, and she wins one-on-ones.
Nails it. Excellent.
You leave her alone in the post. Sarah Rolling, such a special player. She's just a bit too quick. This shot put off, and from an awkward angle and an awkward release, somehow getting it to fall. Now dribbling back. Coming over to Morgan, but as I was mentioning before, Rolling, a special kind of player as this one's stolen down. It should be an easy 2.
Snatched out of
Morgan's
the
the
air.
last line of defense. She's going to give the foul. Good decision. She had no fouls on the day. Make them go earn it at the line. But you saw before, Sarah Rolling, a special kind of player. She's just a bit too quick to be guarded by a center, and she's just a bit too big to be guarded by a guard. So
Not a lot of options for the
be-
other team there.
she becomes a matchup nightmare. On her best days, as we mentioned, she's coming off a 14-point game.
Don't quite make that first one.
At the line, Phelan Beamer. Graffunder is going to leave. They're going to bring in Samantha Helmke. At the line for a second.
Sinks it.
So they'll go 1 for 2 out of that trip. Make it 14-12.
And once again, Toto is making her way down the court.
Toto doing a good job from the point position.
Sizing everything up.
He's going to run this down and take the last shot. The shot clock is off. Now, exactly 10 seconds left on the game clock. Toto dribbles right. She's got Helmke to her right. Woodward to her left. Inside to Rolling.
Brings it up.
She's going to draw the foul. She'll go to the line with 4 seconds left.
Sitting at 14-12. Iowa Central is up. See if we can put a couple more points on the board.
Rolling gets the roll off the front of the glass, pardon me. Gets to put it back in. Morgan comes in. Turcotte exits. So whatever defense there will be left to do in this transition attempt with 4 seconds left will be done by Morgan at that forward position.
Second one up.
He goes 2 for 2.
She sinks it. Fantastic play.
Come back, 1 second left. Time to get a shot up. They do. It's a running 3, but when your body's going that fast, it's going to be hard to get a controlled shot off. Goes a long ways wide. Iowa Central is going to roll into the end of the first quarter, 16-13. We'll be back in a couple minutes on the Triton Nation Network with the second quarter. And we're back here with the second quarter. Triton's basketball getting started. Southwestern is going to have a throw-in at half court as they lost the opening tip. It's going to be thrown into Malika Carter. And then off we'll go. It's 16-13. A lot on the line today. A 3-point game. Fighting for 5th in the conference. Trying to get those spots. And as anyone who knows the college seeding system knows, 1 or 2 spots in your conference can mean the world when it comes to who you play in the first round of this tournament. So both of these teams trying to avoid facing a team like Kirkwood in the first half. So this could mean everything, and Sarah Rowland's going to add 2 right off the break.
It was a fantastic pass, very quick.
And I'll tell you something, that's where Sarah Rowling excels. 1-step, 2-step finishing down under the basket. It's what she works on pretty much all day at practice. Now she's going to try to draw the charge. Going to be dribbled around now. Morgan has it, and
Seems
smart
like
decision.
Southwestern's getting a little hasty.
Smart decision not to push it back up the court by Morgan.
Toto sizing everything up.
Taking the dribble. She'll get it over to Morgan. 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
Back to Toto. She goes in. Pass.
Great pass into Rolling. She'll get the assist on, and Rolling will pick up another 2.
As you said, Rolling has just been absolutely fantastic today.
That's 8 points on the day for her so far. Again, she's coming off a 14-point game. Arguably not. It isn't the game where she led herself in scoring, but I think the best game she's played all year. Couldn't get the finish off of it. Definitely the first half she's played. Best first half of basketball she's ever played. Now Morgan going to get a hand on the back, and the foul is going to go against Spivey. So now Spivey's going to exit. Beamer coming in. Iowa Central up by 5 with 8 seconds left here in the first half. And you know they'd love to go on a run to end it. And speaking of runs, depending on what the foul call is here, she's going to go to the line. Sarah Rowling putting on a 1-woman run here. She's already scored the last 4 points in this contest. She'll try to add to that. On the line, and as you can see, her eyes lit up when they made a couple adjustments. Now it's all smalls on the court.
Once again, just sinks it.
There isn't a player on the court over 5'9" for Southwestern. Sarah Rowling, as we mentioned, a player that's kind of in between a guard and forward, has an opportunity and knows that with these 5, I'm guessing, brilliant shooters, that's why they're on the floor this way. It's a team that wants to shoot. But with the physicality Southwestern has right now on the court, they're going to have a tough time finding a matchup for Sarah Rowling.
Trying to get in there, we're just not letting them in.
Now, but this is where those smalls kill. Outside shot, long rebound, tracked down by Morgan, away from the ball, foul. It's going to be against Carter trying to go after that loose ball. Carter coming in, shoulder down. It's going to get you called 9 times out of 10, and the 10th time is when the official isn't looking.
Turcotte coming in.
And now, I think head coach Kelly Kruger saw what I just pointed out, another big entrance game for Iowa Central. Look for them to punish. Iowa Central holding on average about a half a head's height advantage per position. Out to Woodward, now Toto. The lone guard left on the floor. Back out to her, she'll have a chance to shoot a 3, and she drains it. Second three-pointer of the day for Rochelle Toto.
Tritons are on fire today.
Iowa Central doing everything that they can. They're doing it right. The problem will be playing a full 40 minutes. It's a problem they've had throughout the season. But if they can close like they've started, it should be a win for Iowa Central. They're up by 12 now. Now Woodward into Rolling. See what the call is. There's a little pushing and shoving on both ends. I think, yeah, it's going to be a throw-in for Iowa Central. Means the foul is going to go against number 12, Chelsea Sams. Iowa Central out to not an untouchable, but a pretty cozy lead right now. They've made every possession count. They haven't thrown away too many balls, which has been a problem for them. Turnovers have been a boogeyman for Iowa Central. So far, only 3 turnovers on the day. Rolling. And somehow gets the pass out. It'll be shielded out by Woodward. And Woodward smiling and talking to the official, saying that the reason she shielded that ball out is because the last touch was off a white jersey. Official doesn't see it that way. Carter dribbling across, and now you have to figure Iowa Central in a good position. 12-point lead doesn't sound like an awful lot, but against 2 teams that just don't put up that many points, period, and like to stay in a defensive shell, it could be a pretty cozy lead to work with.
Speaking of defense, seems like we are just not letting up today. They cannot find any openings.
The footwork doesn't stop. The rotation fails a bit, leaves an opening for a shot, but it's tracked down. Now, the first maybe ill-advised pass out of that press, but Turcotte gets away with it. That's something they're going to have to worry about. It's obvious, it shows on tape. Iowa Central is a team that has struggled with the press. You can make them make decisions, but that time the press shows Iowa Central gets out of it. 16 seconds left here as the scoreboard goes dark. Now 9 seconds left. Turcotte working on the inside, out to Graffunder, who can't keep that dribble in bounds.
25-13 right now. Iowa Central just staying in that big old lead there.
Iowa Central's probably going to look to extend. It is a game of runs. And what they don't want to do in these last 6 minutes, they've been on a run. They don't want to allow Southwestern to respond because those last 5 minutes going into the break can change everything. The difference between having a 12-point lead that you've maintained, this a shield leading to a 3 drilled. Beautiful shot. Now with a little bit of a skip, getting back to defense, Feline Beamer. That lead down to single digits. It's 9 now. Helmke. Dribbling by Morgan. Back to Helmke. She likes the shot, but she won't take it because there's a better one available for Rolling.
Sinks it again.
Give her 10 on the day. Pardon me, 12 as it changes over. There'll be a defensive foul called here. I believe on Rochelle Toto. So now a little bit of changing, getting Rachel Toto out and Rolling. Rolling now with the way Turcotte and Graffunder have been playing, not only is Rolling having a good day, not only is she a hot hand, but now her, Graffunder, and Turcotte, three of their best players, get to rotate in and out with each other. You'll never have a bad set of legs on this Iowa Central team. 3-point shot taken, and ooh, off the step back. Five minutes left on the clock. This lead now down to 8. Over to Woodward, and that's how you chip away at a lead, Cody. These 3-point shots, especially against a team that's going to answer with 2, they'll always put you a net 1-point gain, no matter what happens on the other end.
Absolutely. And if they keep on sinking them like this, it's going to chisel that lead away even further.
This ball out of bounds off of Jensen. Trends are going to take a 30-second timeout. They're going to come into it 27-19. They've done everything they wanted to do. It's definitely not going to be a game that runs away from either team, it doesn't appear, at least not before halftime. It's going to be a full 40-minute game, and it's going to probably come down to the wire if these two teams' resumes really have anything to say about it.
Well, as I said before, it seems like the Tritons are on fire today. As long as we can keep that heat going, we should be able to pull out ahead on this one.
The problem is Iowa Central is a team that will disappear for 10 minutes at a time through the season, and honestly, inconsistency comes with youth. 5 freshmen starting, it's going to be that way.
Absolutely.
But they have matured, 3 freshmen starting, Graffunder and Turcotte, both sophomores. But with this much youth out on the floor at any given time, inconsistency can come from very talented players. Youth, because part of what you learn over a few years is what to do when you don't have it on a particular day.
Right.
And that's something that players on this team have definitely developed over time. These last 5 or 6 games, they have come out on the worst end of it, but they have been consistent all the way through and had chances to win. Before, it was a team that would dominate for 10 minutes and then go to sleep for 10 minutes. This is a team that's developed, though. And now they work with 2 bigs, Jensen and Rolling down front, a forward in Graffunder, and 2 guards. And now they're going to get into one of the bigs. Trying to pick up her own rebound after the block, Jensen, but now pushing 1-on-2. Stripped by Morgan, and she keeps herself clean of the foul. Beautiful piece of handiwork there.
Toto working her way back.
I'll say, if I put it on a stat line, she probably scores around 8 points a game, if I were to guess. That's pretty much where she ends up on any given game, is this one thrown away by Rolling. But she'll track it down. She'll end up with 8 points and about 5 assists a game. Will Kayla Morgan. She's 5'6". She's a sophomore guard out of Mapleton, Iowa. So if I were to put all of her stats down on the line, you wouldn't really figure that she's as big of a piece of this team as she is. But there is nothing but hustle in Kayla Morgan on both ends, and that's something that she adds to this team. She's a good passer, she's a good defender, and she's just one more piece of an overall team. And she does her role very well, but here she gets dribbled by. Won't be able to finish. Rolling drags it down.
Haven't been very consistent on those 2-point shots. Toto is working her way down the court.
Morgan now. Turcotte takes the outside shot.
Sinks it.
I'll tell you, for her size and how well she can play physically and her length, Turcotte a fantastic shooter when she gets a chance to pull it up. Walking the baseline here. Oh, saying goodbye, Alexis Bronner. Back and forth we go. It's still now down to an 8-point game. It's been dancing between 8 and 10 all day. The lead refuses to disappear or get any bigger, but Southwestern keeps chipping away. You figure, though, this is speaking from the opposing side. A deep
Toto.
3 from space. Toto
nails
hits
it.
Had a little bit of daylight and was not shy. 2:40 left, but that's something they're going to have to prevent. But now another deep 3, and
Really
back and
deep
forth
three.
we go. The lead's back to 8. Aner hits that. Turcotte, 2:20 left in this first half. Taking the dribble. Over to Morgan. Trying to work it inside, ill-advised pass. She can be prone to that, though, Morgan. She has so much faith in her passing ability. Sometimes she'll try to hit a window that just isn't there. 2 minutes flat left, 18 on the shot clock. trying to cut into this lead. Right now it's at 8. The whistle's going to go against Iowa Central away from the ball. Maybe Sarah rolling. There was a little shoving down there. So Rolling picks up her first. And I'll tell you, she's a player. As we mentioned, she is a bit too much physical. She is just a bit too much physicality to contain at times, but that also leads to fouls. She's a physical player, but right now she's having a great game. She's got 12 points and only 1 foul, so she's set up to have it just as good of a second half. Jensen after the long missed 3.
Didn't quite find its mark there.
Over to Graffunder. Thinks about popping the 3.
Back to Toto.
Passing up a good shot. Now they're looking for a great one. Inside to Toto. She's surrounded. Out to Woodward. She'll pop it.
Didn't quite get there.
Getting a piece of that ball. I think number 22, Keandra Washington, got herself a partial block there. Now coming here off the inbounds pass. A little bit of a conversation between the coach and his players. That offensive possession was handled sloppily. Miscommunication between teammates leads to the turnover. Morgan, checks in. Turcotte will take a seat. So now Iowa Central playing with Graffunder and Woodward at forward, 2 guards up top, and 1 center down low with Jensen.
Minute 25 left here as Northwestern is going to make its way back down the court. Southwestern, excuse me.
Looking for anything. She's going to have a little bit of space. She pulls it down, dribbles past Jensen, slings it over to the corner. Good ball movement, and it'll lead to 3. I'll tell you something. After that pretty piece of offense, you deserve a lucky roll. 32-27. This lead down to 5. Iowa Central doesn't look like they're going to push for the 2-1. Going to take their time with this shot clock. There's 50 seconds left and about a 35-second difference. 35-second difference between the shot and game clocks. Now 10 seconds left to shoot. Jensen gets it in, tries to sling it back out. Toto saves an easy 2 points on the other end. Great job committing. Now she's going to have to pop the 3.
Didn't quite find its mark.
Now, it looks like with the last shot, unless they press down, Southwestern. 25 seconds left on the shot clock. 25. Yeah, I'd say there's about a 1 second difference. 2 second difference between the shot and game clock. They're going to take the shot they get, though, and draw the foul.
19 seconds left.
Trying to close down. It's a 2-possession game now.
Sitting at 32-27. Down to a 5-point lead for the Tritons.
So with some very important free throws here. Arena Frazier kisses this one off the front of the rim, not enough on it. So big free throws here. They need to at least get 1, make it a 4-point game. Iowa Central does look like they're going to get the last shot, and the way they've been playing, I'd expect them to actually slow it down and get down to the last 2 or 3 seconds before they pop one. But first, they're going to have to track down this rebound, empty from the line. Frazier, and that's huge.
15.
10 left to shoot with Toto with the ball. See what she does.
Taking their time.
Looks like she's going to hold it and take the shot herself. Nope, she's going to give it over to Morgan. Shoots the 3. Drills it. That's the way the first half is going to end. Not exactly a buzzer beater, but it has the same effect in the momentum. Iowa Central picks up 3 points as the buzzer expires. They're going to go into halftime 35-27. 8-point game. At halftime of this, we're going to honor the men's wrestling team. As you guys know, if you've been paying attention to Triton Sports, coming off their 2nd national title in 3 years. So we'll get to see a little bit of them. But for now, we're done with the basketball action. 35-27, your Tritons leading all scorers. Sarah Rolling with 12 right now. Those are the 2 big stats you need to know. We'll see if they can close it on the second half. But for now, we're going to get to the halftime show. We'll see you guys when the action picks back up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Triton Basketball. We came into halftime. Iowa Central up 35-27, holding on to that 8-point lead. I'm here with my broadcast partner, Cody Halligan, here for the second half. Iowa Central up by 8. They worked a decent first half. They have to finish the job. They look the better side all the way through, but Southwestern is hanging on now. A soaring rebound from Graffunder, and that's how we'll begin the first half.
So far, they've been doing pretty good.
Morgan's going to pop that three, and she is feeling it today from that range.
Seems like every three today has just been absolutely impressive.
35-27, working the other way. Iowa Central looking to finish. It's something they've struggled with. Hand in the face, bothers the shot enough to make it miss. Toto picks up the rebound. Perfect for her. She's the one they want taking the ball across anyway. Now Graffunder got a three, but she'd rather put the ball on the floor. She would almost always rather have the ball on the floor. It's where she's best. Rolling in traffic. Here, this is a shot she'll take. Baseball pass across the court, but a missed shot on the end of it. Come back the other way. Trying to answer, trying to dig into this lead a bit.
Rolling just so much bigger than the rest of these girls. She is an absolutely great player today.
Down in the post, though. Gets beat over rolling. Chelsea Sams picks up a couple points, and now Morgan. Slung back to Turcotte, looking for the jump shot, won't take it. They'll leave Graffunder again, but this time she'll punish it.
Drove it right in there.
She'll take that open three when you give it to her, but she'd much rather be attacking you, and you saw why there. Her 7th point of the game. Dribbling now. Out to the corner, now slung around. Maybe one too many passes. Foul call that's going to be on the floor against Iowa Central. At least that was the official under the basket's opinion. Yep, Graffunder picks up her second. She picks it up early here in the second half. She is still on the schedule. On schedule as far as fouls go. Now losing her footing.
Graffunder took that one right out of the air.
She's got Turcotte streaking with her. She won't use her, though. She'll go up, pick it up, and one. And that is what Michaela Graffunder is capable of when you give her space to work. Not always a brilliant shooter, and that's something she's working on. But as far as a pure athlete and being able to finish layups, I'll test you to find any better in the conference.
Didn't quite make it in.
She leaves that chance for a three-point play a bit short, though. Coming the other way. They leave the three open. Bad rotation by Iowa Central's defense, but it doesn't get punished. And one thing you have to wonder, I don't think Southwestern has found an offensive rebound yet, and they're not following their shot. Half the time when Iowa Central is able to pick up a rebound, there's no one even close after one of these three-pointers. Turcotte looking for the mid-range jumper. Instead, she finds Rawling, who finds Morgan. Good ball movement. Morgan can't finish, though. About a 14-foot jumper clanks off.
And I find that kind of surprising they aren't following through on these three-pointers, trying to get that rebound in.
Now there's the three, and as you can see, one woman in the post. That rebound is the easiest rebound these Iowa Central players are going to get, especially on the defensive end.
Absolutely. It just looked absolutely wide open for the Tritons.
Morgan here. Slings it over to Toto. Graffunder, she's got room, but she also had help. She could see as this comes in. Now streaking down the center of the court. Being chased down by Graffunder, and on the hesitation. Beautiful. Great transition offense from Chelsea Sams. Now Iowa Central up by 13. They're up 42-29, and the offense has been consistent. It's been good. They're on pace to put up about 65 or 70. And the defense, no complaints either. They should hold them, if they can keep this pace, to about 55 or 60. So Iowa Central, on both ends, is staying the course, at least so far. About halfway through this third quarter. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. Morgan, now they're playing a full press, trying to bother the rhythm, show the Iowa Central offense something a bit different. But now they've weathered the storm. They're back. But I was about to say they didn't have much shot clock to work with, but it's not going to matter.
The Thunder drove it to Rawling, and she just sunk it.
Give Graffunder the assist, give Rawling the points, and she's not in any need of them. That's 14 on the day. Oh, Sam's thought about making him pay for it again, but good disciplined play. She decides to do the right thing. Now the three will just fall. Be chased down, but again,
once again, just one in the post.
They seem to be content to be taking that shot and then playing defense. The problem is Iowa Central's offense has been able to take advantage of them, and now Turcotte and Rawling, their two best inside scorers, are on the court.
Little bit of a stretch on that pass there. Didn't quite make its target.
Well, she was aiming at something that wasn't there, and the coach is letting her know. In general, you don't want that ball in the air for that long. There's a reason there's a hand on it. So a mass substitution. Jensen, Helmke, and Toto all come in. But again, Iowa Central, with its deep bench of Turcotte, Rawling, and Jensen down there, Toto gets the shot blocked. I think it was at least partially blocked. Otherwise, it's the worst shot she's taken all year. Now over to the three. Deep two-point shot, can't get it to fall. Chased down by Iowa Central. Now another thing,
back quick.
But that's something that does get at least a little bit of an advantage from only having one or two people playing the post. You could see 4 women back that time for Southwestern to guard against the transition offense. One more pass would leave her open, but Toto looking to take it herself.
Just short.
She's been leaving that shot short all day, but she is a player who can contribute other ways when the shot goes cold. You wonder if she's eventually just going to stop putting that up, because it doesn't appear to be her night. Turcotte comes in, but as I was mentioning before, Southwest 1 through 8, they have eight listed players, is a very small team. Iowa Central has the advantage, and it's a very workable advantage of having Roland, Jensen, and as this one launched, chased down by Helmke. Having Rawling, Jensen, and Turcotte, which means that you can have 2 bigs on the floor at all times, or have 1 and have 2 resting. But either way, you always have a big on the floor, and you always have 1 or 2 resting. So they've been able to keep their bigs very fresh. Haven't looked sluggish yet. And now Turcotte can shoot.
Oh, just hits the rim, not quite in.
Good defense, forced her to take an awkward angled shot, but she almost made it work. Inside, driving through 2. Brilliant, but without a finish. 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Toto taking this across center court. Graffunder, Rawling, and Morgan waiting on the wings. And you see, it's not an awfully deep bench. As you can see, this 3-woman substitution is going to empty it out. Oh, high off the glass. Ashley Turcotte gets it to go. But as you can see, Cody, it's not an awfully deep bench. There's only 3 bench players at any given time. But they have 8 that can play, and that is rare.
Right.
It is common to have 5 or 6 in the bench, so in that way, Iowa Central's bench appears to be shallow. But it's rare to have 8 starting quality players that you can feel comfortable with giving this much time to.
Absolutely. A free throw here.
Stepping to the line, Frazier.
Sinks it.
Hits that first one.
Getting her substitutions in now.
Frazier, as you can see, she's only got 3 points on the day. They need to get her going. In that comeback win against Iowa Central earlier in the year, in the away version of this game, she had 11 points, all of them in the second half.
And makes the next one.
So in a way, Iowa Central has to feel good. They're up by 13. But in another way, they've been in this exact same situation before and had it taken away by this exact same team.
They kept a comfortable lead, but just got it swiped away from them near the end.
So now Iowa Central trying to do something that they haven't done against Southwestern. They have dominated large periods of both games, but now they're trying to do something they haven't done, which is finish. Puts the ball on the floor. Helmke has to take an awkward angle shot. Rawling, nothing awkward about that.
Amazing, and managed to get around all that aggression and get one in.
Sarah rolling, throwing a shoulder in, throwing the hook up. That's quite simply, I am better than you, and we're going to go up one-on-one. Not an awful lot to be done about that. And I'll say, rolling has been a bit of a mystery all the way through this season. There was a streak in midway through December and halfway through January where she was consistently putting up 15 to 20. She kind of disappeared in mid-January, hasn't really done much of anything in early February, and then this last couple weeks has been back to her old ways. And I'll say, it's never been a physical problem. There's always going to be a load of talent inside the body of Sarah rolling. The mind maybe has been going, or they haven't really had her touching the ball as much since she went cold. If I can get my words out, I speak for a living, I promise. But
every time she's gotten the ball, she's managed to do something pretty great with it tonight.
she always looks dangerous. And her and Grifunder combined, if they can both get going on the same night, which they are right now, it's dangerous. And Iowa Central, a team, as they approach the 50-point mark, that you have to kind of race against. You can't let them get to 50 this early because you know that they're not going to allow you to easily score 60 up under. You're going to say she drew the foul.
Not make any marks there.
Who are they going to say? Goddard, Rolling, and Grifunder both around the area. They're going to get Sarah Rolling. She picks up her second.
Got Frazier with the free throws again.
Just went 2 for 2. So yeah,
3 for 3.
the scoreboard's not a huge lead, it's a marginal lead, but you have to figure Iowa Central, a team that saw a 22-point lead slip away to this exact same team, is feeling like it's no lead at all.
Definitely going to have to try and keep that lead as best they can.
You're treating this right now as this is landed through. Good free throw. You're treating this like a 0-0 game.
Because they should.
You cannot lose focus again. You cannot let 2 conference wins go against a team that you know you should have beat the first time.
You should never, ever let your lead mean you can be comfortable, ever.
Going in, deep shot, confident, can't get to drop. Now Iowa Central has to be careful not to give the foul. Jump shot,
Just swings out.
She had 2 points about 3 different times. That ball, a couple times around that hoop, looked like it was going to drop, but the definition of a home roll there.
Seems Southwestern's getting a lot more aggressive in this second half here.
They're bringing that double team over. Iowa Central cannot do that. They have to be smarter about passing out of it. Passing out of the double team, and now the defensive adjustment might lead to 2 points. It will.
Again with that aggression.
A smart coaching decision, I have to say, by Southwestern to make now the jump-off point. Oh, and now just thrown away. Grifunder.
Nobody home. Hey.
Grifunder, I can't think of an excuse. I can't think of a reason. Lost her head there. Throws it into the first row. Bleachers on their way side. 1:49 left. And now this is a time where this is a very important timeout because, as I mentioned, this is a team before that Iowa Central had a 22-point lead against about midway through the third quarter, and they came on strong and ended up winning this game. As a coach right now, and I'm sure it's exactly what he's doing because Kruger manages this team very well, you have to give a speech that doesn't allow them to see ghosts. You can't allow this to feel like a repeat. You can't let there be a feeling of here we go again.
Because they cannot let this lead get to them.
Because that now these last three times up and down the court, Iowa Central has looked a bit sluggish. They've looked a bit rattled. Not rattled in the way that they're nervous, but rattled in the way that they've let a couple mistakes snowball. Good time to take a timeout, let your breath take. You're better than this team. That's why they've got an 11-point lead is what you're telling them. Now it's time to go play like you've been playing. You got to keep that lead, stay ahead, and keep putting points on the board. Morgan coming to the defense, but is juked out and drilled over the top. I believe that was a deep 2.
That was.
So now the lead down to single digits. 9-point lead, 48-39. They have to pass. They can't do that. Got caught sitting still, and it's going to cost them. Nope, not going to fall, but there is going to be a foul. You have to be smarter passing out of that double team. Toto looked up, panicked, tried to get to the nearest player, was nowhere to be seen.
You got to try and stay on the move a little bit more. Can't quite get caught standing in one spot for too long. Otherwise, they're just going to get double teamed.
Now, what you can't do is normally what a point guard does, you're either going to come down the beginning middle, or right. So,
Ooh, left it open and
drained.
paid for it.
And now this lead is dwindling. It's down to 42-48.
Minute 10 left.
Here in this third quarter, Grifunder. Southwestern going on a run. This is the quality. This is the quality that'll make you 16-12 overall. Southwestern trying to show that they really haven't been able to show their full quality in this first half. And now this is exactly a mirror image of what happened in the first game.
Just pushing harder and harder.
A strong close to the third quarter, and it's going to be another mental mistake by Iowa Central. A turnover off Toto's foot. Morgan getting back in defense, forcing the shot, a deep three. It's off to the right. But the long rebound tracked down.
Give them a little taste of their own medicine. And got to stay aggressive, get in there, make sure they don't have enough time to think.
Iowa Central settling in here. Looks like they're going to play a high 2-3 zone. Two women floating up over top, and now they've switched it.
Got 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
They leave the three. They're daring her to take it. She does. Won't make them pay for it.
Didn't reach anything there.
Well-designed defense. Obviously, the scouting report showed that Alexis Bronner, not a player you have to worry about taking the three, so they dared her to. There, good pass out of the double team, and this is what happens if you can break it. You get Sarah Rolling streaking in. To Grifunder, now the double team coming over. They're going to have a foul on the floor against Southwestern. The defense on Grifunder was good, but you can only contain her for so long without having to throw an arm in.
Our defense is looking good, but our offense just needs to stay focused. They need to have that focus they had in the first half. They need to keep up with these guys. They need to try and stay away from those double teams.
And now you're watching two of the best teams in the conference go at it. Morgan taking the three, and that's a mirror. That is a mirror image, and you have to wonder why they weren't looking out for it. A mirror image of the end of the first half. The exact same play for the exact same woman. Kayla Morgan drains it. We'll be back in a couple minutes with the fourth quarter. Man, what a ball game so far. And welcome back here to Triton's Basketball. I am a mere commentator. I cannot promise you how this game is going to end, but I can look up at the situation and pretty much guarantee you that something dramatic is going to happen in this next 10 minutes. And starting it off, a deep three, trained down, and now it's going to go off of. No, pardon me, they're going to say it went off of Toto last. Caught a piece of her jersey on the way down. They're going to maintain possession after the three.
It's been a fantastic game so far. Just absolutely exciting in and out.
Southwestern got out to Iowa Central got out to an early lead. Southwestern has been chasing all the way through, and they continue to chase. They're down 51-42. Now a 9-point lead. Iowa Central working with it. 44 on that added to Grifunder.
Back to Toto.
Toto's got a shot. She'll take it.
And
flat.
She sinks it.
A little bit of a flat angle on that three, but she gets it to drop. 53-44, coming back the other way. Now we're going back and forth. This is what Iowa Community College conference action can look like if you let it get the right way. These are two teams going back and forth. These are two teams desperate. As I mentioned, Southwestern came in 5th. Iowa Central came in 6th in this conference. These are teams fighting for position, and these are teams fighting for tournament seeding. And what happens tonight is going to go a long way to deciding who goes where. Iowa Central trying to avoid an away game against Kirkwood, which would be pretty much the waiting punishment for whoever finishes at the bottom of this conference, which they're a long ways from. They'd have to drop the next two and get some help at the bottom, but you don't want to give that any chance. So what they're going to try to do is win these next two. But right now, Southwestern, a team in 5th, who is 2 wins away and 2 losses by Iowa Lakes from climbing into the 3 spot, which would be absolutely gigantic for them. So that's what these two teams are fighting for. Iowa Central trying to keep off the bottom, trying to stay in the middle. Southwestern is a couple wins away if they could just close it out from maybe being able to push themselves from the middle to the top.
I believe the Tritons can do it today. They have the focus, they have the talent, they have the skill. They just got to pull it all together and make it work.
I cannot stress enough how much talent is on the court for each of these teams now. These are 2 of the top 40 teams in the country. Southwestern at times has received votes to be in the top 25. They were ranked as high as 24th in this season.
Bit of a stumble there.
Iowa Central, as they get this ball back, is a team that has, well, for their standards, underperformed all year, even though they're hanging around that 500 mark. Graffunder gets it up. With the talent they have, I believe Graffunder and Rawling, 2 of the best forwards in the conference. They know they can do better. Defensively, they've always been fantastic. The offense has come on late. But it's also a team that has a chance, if they win here, to get a couple conference wins at the right time and go into the tournament feeling really good about themselves.
Absolutely.
The foul called. It's going to be against Southwestern. Pardon me, on Iowa Central, they get Turcotte. 8 minutes, 30 seconds left to play. Dribbled over, and as I mentioned, Iowa Central was out to a 12-point lead. It's been nothing but Southwestern hounding them from behind since, and now a layup goes. Beautiful piece of offense.
It's real back and forth right now. Everyone's putting up points. It's hopefully it doesn't get too close.
Jelani Carter gets 12 on the day. She was the leading scorer in their win against Iowa Central earlier. She had 16. Graffunder dribbling.
Gets it over to Toto, who's wide
Nothing
open.
foolish. They leave her open. She hit before. Can't get the roll here. Toto has kept popping that 3-point shot. She's 1 for 6 on it, though. Pardon me, 2 for 7. She hit one at the beginning. Taking the dribble now. Jelani Carter. She's been the core of this offense all day. Gets a little bit of momentum. Now Graffunder, good defense. It's not going to be beat.
Again, with that single woman in the post from Southwestern, they are absolutely content to play
Rolling
defense.
wanted the outlet pass there. Graffunder, cooler heads prevail. Morgan for 3.
Sinks it.
I'll tell you, she doesn't shoot much. When she does, she can be phenomenal. That's 12 points on the day for Morgan. Just does every aspect of the game right. Now a corner 3 in return. Can't get anything going.
Find it.
Iowa Central now has extended this lead up to 11 points. It's about where they want to keep it. Southwestern is a great team. It's a talented team that can kill you from 3-point. And guess what?
Toto with another.
So can Iowa Central. But as I was mentioning before, Toto's adding to this lead. Iowa Central's trying to throw a dagger here early in this 4th quarter, trying to end this thing. But as I was starting to mention before, we ourselves hit a 3. Southwestern is a team built around 3-point shooting. It's a team built around quick scoring, and that means that it is a team built to close down on you in a hurry if you get lackadaisical.
Again, they just can't get comfortable in this lead. They got to keep it. They got to play their defense well. They got to make sure that they can't get those quick scores in. They got to keep them from getting those threes.
And you know that they aren't going to get comfortable. They're not going to relax, because this is a team that before had been in this exact same situation and let a conference win slide away.
Yep.
Iowa Central right now is a team that has had a lot of close games that they regret, but this is one that I know they really felt like they let themselves down on the back end of.
Gonna try and redeem themselves. They got to get this win.
Taking the dribble.
Graffunder staying aggressive.
Gets caught a little bit off center on it, but she's got help. There, the defense is applied by Toto, and they're going to call the foul. Chase you through the chest in a bit. Picks up her third of the day. And I do believe that means she's going to be taking a trip to the sideline just to be safe. The first free throw here by Frazier. She drains it.
She's been sinking all her free throws today.
She's got 7 on the day, 5 of them from free throws. Now trying to draw them, trying to get ever closer.
Again, sinking that free throw. Thunder making her way down.
15-point game now. Now Helm keeps dealing with it, pardon me, Woodward. Out to Morgan. Morgan got 10 seconds left to shoot. Finds Helmke. Battle for the ball down low. Oops. Tries to put it up. Can't get it to go. It's gonna be an offensive foul against Iowa Central. Pardon me, I believe they got the travel. 6:05 left. Iowa Central trying to hold on. They've done the job up till now, and now the foul given by Grifunder. They've done everything right up till now. They've got a 12-point lead with 6 minutes left. If the ship stays steady, Iowa Central will pick up a huge conference win.
Just got to keep those mistakes to a minimum.
Now trying to cut into this lead again.
Frazier once again.
Frazier proving herself the wrong woman to foul.
Absolutely.
Rolling comes in, Helmke leaves. I believe Grifunder's staying in. She's just having a conversation with Kruger. Yes, she is. Honestly, I think what Iowa Central needs to do, and it's what they're built to do right now, it's the particular set of people that he's put out are what I think that Kruger is going for as this one's drained, is to just continue to pound the paint down this game. If you can get 2 points every couple possessions, if you can get a point per possession, you should be able to close this out. Now foul, Grifunder goes down hard.
Doesn't seem too hurt by it, though.
Coming over, Morgan's to take the inbound pass. They get Carter on her first. Pardon me, Alfred. The guilty party on that one. Rolling. Now being pressured. Southwestern knowing that they're going to have to do something drastic here. But again, only an 11-point lead. That can disappear quickly, but adding to it, nope.
Oh, not quite.
Leaves it a bit long off the back iron, but it's rebounded well, and that's going to gain Iowa Central 30 more seconds of possession. It's going to sound elementary, it's going to sound rookie, it's going to sound duh, but when they have the ball, when you have the ball, they can't score, but we can. Morgan trying to chase it in, can't. It's saved by a great play by Frazier. Frazier, who's had a heck of a last 4 minutes. Part of the reason this lead is only 11.
With the three, didn't quite make it.
Leaves it short, picked up by Grifunder. Turcotte gets caught on the travel. She was led a little bit wrong by the pass. Grifunder gave it to her at an awkward angle. It's going to result. And now you can see head coach Kelly Kruger, the first thing he does, walks over, gives the hand gesture, double palms to the ground. Calm down. Relax. You've done your business. You just have to continue to for 5 minutes. They're going to put on a show. They're going to try to pressure you, but things like that, open 2-point shot drawn down by Turcotte after the miss, have to be avoided. I believe Iowa Central, the more talented of these two sides, but Southwestern, a side that doesn't appear to be rattled by anything. They will keep coming at you. They'll keep not making mistakes. They'll keep forcing you to make decisions. And as you know, the more decisions you can, but now they leave the three open. The more decisions you can force a team to make, the more mistakes are available for them.
They tried for that pass, but Southwestern was able to pick it out of the air.
Into Turcotte. I think they're going to get Turcotte in the foul. Trying to cut off the drive to the lane.
Again with Frazier up to the line.
Fourth team foul for Iowa Central, so they're one away from going into the bonus. Frazier at the line. Can she stay perfect? Yes.
Once again.
10-point lead for Iowa Central. You didn't figure it was going to be easy. These are two teams that have a reputation for fighting down to the last scratch. This is two teams that have reputations for being good defensive teams, and that will keep you in ball games. You never figured there was going to be much to separate them by the end of this, and it looks like we're going to be right.
And she misses one, her last one so far.
9-point game, Iowa Central. You don't get many easy conference wins here. And whoever wins this one definitely will not have gotten an easy win.
No, they have fought tooth and nail for this.
Morgan trying to dribble out of it. Did she force the foul? Yes.
Can't help but admire that aggression from Southwestern.
Southwestern knowing that if they want to, you can't get it all back at once. You're going to have to force a few turnovers. You're going to have to keep chipping away. And 4 minutes is all the time in the world in terms of basketball time, especially when you have all your timeouts available to you. Toto. Got 20 seconds left, and there she goes. You can see the maturity. She wouldn't have done that in December, pulling the ball down, putting it on the floor a few times, now looking for a teammate. Refunder trying to find it inside to Turcotte. Rash decision. It's going to lead down. Is she going to strike the lane? Yes.
Didn't meet its mark.
And you see, you can see the beauty, while she ended up missing it, of forcing a player into foul trouble. Toto had no decision. She's got 3 fouls. She had to just get out of the way and let that one roll. She couldn't risk throwing her body in, because you definitely don't want her playing in the last 2 minutes having to worry about an ejection.
Right.
Toto pulls up the 3.
Shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
drains it.
Wonderful shot.
You do want to worry about her doing that, though. She strolls to the sideline, and that was absolutely huge. It brings the lead up to 9. Iowa Central with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left to try to close out a conference win, a much-needed conference win. One of their last 4. They're coming off of a bum stretch. This could be exactly the momentum they need. They won their last game against Iowa Lakes, where they played phenomenally. They played good against Kirkwood, but over 20 minutes, they were able to, with pure tenacity, good rebounding, good toughness, keep it close. But as you start to play 30, 40 minutes, a team like Kirkwood, the difference in talent is going to begin to show. And Kirkwood just has more talent than everybody else in the country. So that's what happened there. So 2 of the best games they've played all year, they're putting on a show in the 3rd against a good conference opponent. They've got the lead. If they can close this out, you have to figure that they have a chance, depending on what happens at Ellsworth, to go into the postseason feeling like they're playing their best basketball of the year.
Absolutely, and it surely seems like it. You can feel the energy. You can feel the teamwork, and these girls are really pulling something fantastic together tonight.
Yeah, and what you can say about both teams, though, 3 minutes and 14 seconds does not sound like the end of the world to them, and neither of these teams are going to stop until that clock says triple zeros.
Like you said before, all the time in the world.
They do have to start now if they want something, though. Southwestern, 12-point lead, out to the corner. A little bit of confusion here as the whistle doesn't get blown, then does. Either way, a conversation between the 2 officials and now between the official and the bench. We'll see who got picked up. They get everything sorted out here. Now, I have to admit, I don't know what this is about. Now a conversation between the official and Kelly Kruger. Don't know what they're chatting about at half court there.
Doesn't really seem like anybody knows what's going on at the moment.
Now sending over the head official. It appears to be explaining the foul, but they haven't even told the timekeeper's booth to get an announcement on who the foul was on. I believe it was Toto reaching in. So no official foul called to the booth. I believe a little bit of a confusion with the timekeeping, and now all sorted out. We'll get back. 3 minutes left. Almost a turnover there. 20 seconds left to shoot, and it's not going to matter. Didn't put the ball on the ground in time. That's just getting ahead of yourself. (65-53).
Starting to see a few mistakes from Southwestern here. A little out of character for them tonight, but seems like that aggression is still going to be there.
And they try to press, but only putting one woman on Michaela Graffunder was a mistake there. Dribbles around the press. Morgan. Toto. Into Rolling, and that's one-on-one, into Turcotte. She'll take that all day, but she can't get to finish. And you gotta figure, with the way that these bodies line up, Iowa Central, anytime one of their players can get the ball with only one person to beat between them and the basket, it's gonna feel good. But now,
sunk that three.
Drained. Toes just barely not able to scrape the line. She was awfully close. They're gonna call it a long three.
65-56 with Iowa Central in the lead.
Just 3 possessions, just 3 3-pointers away, and which is Southwestern has been their main form of offense through the day. Iowa Central now, the tension's starting to build. They're 2 minutes and 30 seconds away, 2:23 to be more specific. Around 2.5 minutes left between trying to close out a conference win and Southwestern, who's been chasing all day, has played a good game defensively. They just want to get themselves back into it. It's been about 10 points for most of the second half. Iowa Central hasn't really let them close much, but Iowa Central also hasn't been able to extend. Right. And the last thing you want to do in a conference game, specifically in this conference, is let a team hang around.
Right.
You don't want them to feel like they have a chance. You don't want them to be here at the end, because when you're playing a team that you know may have a little bit more talent than you, all you say all week is get us to the last minute within 5. And we'll see how it goes. Get us there close and we'll see how the chips fall.
Right.
But right now, a 9-point lead in Iowa Central.
Looking to pull that lead even further.
Toto gets fouled.
And I feel like that's what they need to avoid what happened last time. They got to get that lead even more. They got to keep it ahead. They got to stay in front.
Well, honestly, right now they've played beautifully with the lead.
Absolutely.
Not ahead of themselves. They've not. More importantly, they have stuck to being a defensive ball club, which is what they are at their core.
They've stayed focused. They've kept their cool, even under all this absolute aggression from Southwestern.
And they have avoided the enemy of a lead, which is runs. They have not allowed any kind of momentum to build. They've been stifling all day. Graffunder, though, misses it. Not much rotation on that shot. Came awkwardly out of her hands. I believe Iowa Central maintained possession, though, off of a white jersey and out.
Minute 39 left to play.
So now you got to think about giving the foul if you're Southwestern. You're down by 9, and if you let them take this possession without fouling or without pressuring, at least they could take 30 more seconds off this clock. So we'll see how they play this. They're definitely playing it snug, but they forget about Graffunder. Yeah, but they're going to give the foul. Pardon me, a travel leading into the foul, and that's a bad decision by Graffunder, or at least a mental mistake, because they were trying to give the foul, and she traveled going into the pile. Inside to Sams. And she's just been good all day. There she'll draw the foul. Go to the line. Chipping away with a chance to chip this to 7.
Things starting to get a little scary.
Sarah Rolling picks up her 3rd. This lead has been dancing back and forth between 8 and 10 all day, with a chance to put it down to 7 with these two.
Ooh, not quite.
Misses that first one. Off the front of the rim. 65-56. Sam's at the line. Iowa Central so far through these last 10 minutes done exactly what you got to do. They've made every possession count. They've rebounded well. They've just kept doing what they're doing, and now off the missed free throw, they'll get the rebound. And now Rolling's going to break the press. A minute 24 left with the ball. Iowa Central now dribbling in between defenders. Morgan. Iowa Central If they could score a basket here, it's all but guaranteed themselves a conference win, but they can't keep it in bounds. Was that off? Yep, off of Morgan, out of bounds. So now, with most of their timeouts intact, I believe they've got 2 to use. Southwestern is down by 9 with 1:10 left. You figure you're going to see a wide open gas pedal here, but it's a team that's capable of scoring in quick succession. We saw it towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, all it's going to take is a couple good threes, and that's all they need, and that's what they're good at.
Can't get it to go. Beautiful.
Under a minute left.
Beautiful Euro step leading to the finger roll. It's my personal favorite combination in basketball, but this time it doesn't come off. Reach in here. Now they're going to have to start playing the foul game. But that being said, Iowa Central made the right decision on who to get the ball to there. One more, I believe, yes, they're at 4. One more before every foul will send Iowa Central to the line, which is really what they're playing for. To start trading free trips to the free throw line for offensive possessions. That's the game you play when you're down by this much. Actually, not this much, but when you're down by a manageable margin that you actually have a shot on, now they're going to run up and give the foul. And they made sure it was in Griffunder's hands. Because it doesn't really matter what the free throw shooting statistics will say. I think the statistics will probably tell you that Morgan is a little bit of a better free throw shooter than Griffunder. But with the game on the line, the fact of the matter is there is no one on this basketball team that they're more comfortable having touching the ball than Griffunder. And that's why.
She gets it in.
Drains the first.
Can't help but think that might have been a mistake on Southwestern's part to get Griffunder on the line here.
No choice but to. She was just going to hold the ball either way, and there she goes 2 for 2. Griffunder, the sophomore, a leader of this team. Morgan, and that's the kind of thing that most players wouldn't have even seen an opportunity for. And it looked like she had possession pure and simple, tucked against her chest. They're going to call a jump ball. I'm not sure about that. Either way, Iowa Central's going to get possession.
Fantastic move there.
The crowd a little unruly about it. I'm not so sure I disagree.
It's very quick thinking.
30 seconds left. Iowa Central 41 left. Going to get a 6-second violation on the throw-in. Iowa Central couldn't shake anybody open. Now an 11-point lead, and Iowa Central just has to play defense. All but guaranteed a win. It's all but decided now. Morgan's going to get called on the foul.
She almost had a hand on it, didn't quite get a hold of it.
I'll tell you, like I said, not a player that's going to get a lot of attention when you start reading the stat line out. Well, there's a lot of players that are a lot of fun to watch, but when Morgan starts doing things like that, you just have to grin and admire the effort because she absolutely refuses to let there be a play that she doesn't stick her nose into.
Absolutely.
Now, the first free throw sunk. They're going to cut this back down to 9, but with not much time to work, it looks bleak.
32 seconds.
Iowa Central 32 seconds away from closing out this game. They have to be careful here, and they will. Rolling, gets fouled. She does struggle on the line at times, but she does not struggle late in games. So we'll see here if the clutch gene overrules a little bit.
Maybe that pressure will help. Who knows?
She's generally fantastic in the last 3 minutes of a game. See if she continues that trend. Hits it right through the middle.
Looking good.
Been the best player on the court for either team so far today.
Absolutely. She's been doing fantastic today.
Griffunder and Rollings will at times take turns, but with 18 points on the day, Sarah Rolling, she hopes that's where she ends up. Jump shot drilled.
They managed to get it.
Trading 2 for 2.
24 seconds left of play.
69-60 again. Now they make sure to get it in Griffunder's hands, and they'll keep taking it. They're going to keep playing this game, trying to chip into it. It's down to 9 again. But you see, this is where having a team where you get to start 3 sophomores is going to be a big help. Griffunder's been there before. She doesn't usually get nerves. If she misses it, it won't be because of the moment. It'll be statistically. There, she bangs it off. She was 3 for 3 since halftime. That's her first miss of the second half from the line. One would help here. It would extend it to 10.
See if she can get it.
There
And
she goes.
she does.
1 for 2. She splits it. Not a perfect trip to the line. Not what she was looking for, but it'll be manageable.
70 to 60 now.
And now the quick shot has to be taken. And it will be.
Land it.
This one out of bounds. It's going to be Southwestern's possession, but this one all but decided. It looks like Iowa Central is going to go to 12 and 18, which, as I mentioned before, isn't where they want to be at this point of the year. But going into this playoffs, they've played 3 of their best games of the season. It's all about when you get hot, and in this level, almost everybody makes the dance. So they're going to have a chance at any point to go and maybe upset a team that's going to be seated way ahead of them, because I promise you, I can guarantee you, whatever happens, the seed will not reflect the quality of play that they put on in the last 4 games. This one, takedown by Helmke.
Wild toss there.
That will be it. Drug down. Iowa Central goes to 12 and 18. Southwestern takes the loss, goes to 16 and 12, 5 and 8 in the conference. We'll have to see what happens with the rest of the conference to see what that does for seeding and where they sit. But a huge win for Iowa Central, just their 4th conference win of the season, and boy, does it feel good here at Pilcher Court.
It was an absolutely fantastic game tonight.
Rolling great with 18 points.
It was exciting all the way through.
Rolling has 18, Graffunder has 15, Morgan ends with 12. On top of some great defense, Turcotte put up 8. A total group effort. They played 40 minutes of basketball, got the win. And Iowa Central right now at the end of the season looking awfully pretty, sitting in a good position to be going into whatever game they find in regionals, which I promise you, I guarantee you, will not be a game that looks like they can win on paper if you just look at it. But I've seen them play against every team in the conference. I don't think there's one they can't put a good game up against.
The heart and soul of this team is just strong and fantastic. They're just got to keep up this teamwork, keep up that focus, and maybe they'll pull out a couple more wins.
One more and then regionals.
Yeah,
see if they can go get the win against Ellsworth. Either way, they're going to go into the regionals feeling pretty good about themselves.
Absolutely.
Kirkwood, the only team to beat them in their last 3 conference games, and well, Kirkwood has pretty much beat everyone. So whoever ends up playing them won't really feel like they have an opportunity. But otherwise, looking at this region, it is a wide open tournament, and I cannot wait to be able to call what happens in that tournament if Iowa Central is fortunate enough on either end to be able to get a home game. That's been the women's game. We got the men, as you can see them warming up, coming up for you in 15, so do not leave us. But for now, for this broadcast, I've been Tyson Strayer with my broadcast partner Cody Halligan. For everyone, oh yeah, pardon me. I forgot we were going to be able to work a post-game interview here. So, as we get this down, I've got Reese Webb waiting. It looks like they've got Graffunder and Morgan down there. 2 great games from them. See what they got, Reese. All right, just a minute as we get this technical difficulty worked out. As I mentioned before, Morgan put up 12, Graffunder put up 17.
Both of them did absolutely fantastic today. They were both very focused on their game. They kept putting up points today.
Absolutely, and Graffunder, Morgan, 2 people that have put in consistent work against it all the way through. So as we wait for these technical sound difficulties to get through, I guess now we know who our 2 players of the game are to discuss what they've been able to do and what they can constantly are able to do. Graffunder, phenomenal anytime she gets to drive at you. One of the best pure slashers in the conference. Morgan is an absolute chess master when she's at her best. A point guard. I guess they have her playing more of a shooting guard. She ends up facilitating so well with her passing. She'll end up with 5 or 6 assists a game, and she will dice you apart that way. And then on defense, hustle all the way through.
And like you said, she just kept sticking her nose in those plays. Just kept trying to get something done every single time, every single chance she got.
Yep, and men's game again coming up. I cannot pump this game up enough. Iowa Central coming in here. They just got a win against the 9th-ranked team in the country, Kirkwood, and now they're playing number 1. No rest for the wicked. You don't get to come down from your big win. There's another team coming in right ahead of you.
Well, maybe we can take this giant down.
Okay, pardon me. We're not going to be able to have the player of the game interviews thanks to the audio. So that will be the end of our broadcast. Great win for Iowa Central. Hope we can do the double down here, but we should have a great competitive game for you in conference coming up. But for this broadcast, I've been Tyson Strayer with Cody Halligan to my right. Props to the entire broadcast crew and everyone working camera. We hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening. Stay with us for the men's game.